Hello soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you are new to this channel you are highly welcome. So this particular video is the second part of the tutorial of this blouse. So in the part 1 I shared the pattern drafting of this beautiful blouse. So in the part 2, which is this video, so I'll be sharing with you the cutting and the sewing of this blouse. So the link to the part 1 will be pinned in the comment section, so if you haven't checked the part 1, please go ahead and check it out. So without wasting much time, let's get right into the tutorial, and don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you. So guys, like I said in the intro of this video, so we drafted the pattern of this blouse in a tutorial. So the link to that tutorial will be pinned down in the comment section. If you haven't watched, please watch the video so that you can understand this part too. So this is the front bodies and this is the back bodies. So this is the back bodies and this is the yoke to the front body. So let's go ahead and cut the fabric. So guys, I went ahead to cut the fabric, and as you can see, this is the center front. There's a joining at the center front, so I'm adding a joining at the center front because of the scallop edge that is at the M line of the blouse. So this is the center front. So this is the yoke for the front, and this is the skin net I cut out. So I cut out 2 nets for the yoke. I want it to be doubled because I don't want it to be transparent, so I'm cutting 2 of it. So now this is the back bodies. So this is the center back and this is the side back. If you notice, I'm using the same fabric for the lining, so everything is the same. So the lining and the main fabric is the same thing. So this is the back yoke also, and I cut out 2 of these also. So like I did for the front, I cut out 2 of these. So this is the bustier that will be inserted into the funnel corset, and for the bustier I use the brocade material to cut the main fabric, and for the other fabric I'm using a lining, and I added interface into this. So I'll be adding foam, which is the breast pad, to the interface, to the lining of the bustier. So note that if you are using double of the skin nets, it won't blend to your skin. It won't blend to your skin. So I don't want it to blend to my skin. I want it to cover up my skin. So that's why I'm doubling it. So now this is the fabric. So I'll be pinning it together, the center front with the side front. I'll pin it together like this. I'll also do the same thing too for this side. Like I said, the main fabric and the lining is the same thing. So the lining and the main fabric is the same thing, so I can use anyone for the lining and anyone for the main fabric. So after pinning them together like that, I'll go ahead and join them from the blouse, from the M line of the blouse up to the bust area. So I'll join it from down upward. So now this is the back, and I'll also pin it together. So for this center back, that's the lacing will be. So I did not add any joining to the center back, so it is on fold when I cut it. Then I'll go ahead and also pin the side to it. So this is the lining also. I'll go ahead and also pin the side to the center back. So when you are confused about any of the fabric, always place your pattern paper on it so that you can be sure and you do not make any mistake. So I'll go ahead and join all this together with 1/2 inch because it's 1/2 inch I added, and this is the bustier for the funnel corset. So you don't need to divide the center front of the bustier, you can just cut it together. As you can see, my own is divided at the center front. So I'll go ahead and also pin the side also to the center front. So I only added interfacing, which is to this fabric, which is the brocade. So this is the lining. I added interfacing to the lining, but I'll also be adding breast pad, which is foam. So after joining this is what I have. So this is the lining. As you can see, I open up all the seams so that everything can lay flat. So I'll go ahead now and join this together. So I will leave an opening which I'll be using to turn this, because it does not have an armhole. So I will leave an opening to turn this. I'm not adding boning to this blouse because I want to be comfortable in this blouse. So if you want to add boning, you can add boning channels to the lining, and add boning to anywhere you want to add boning to. You can also add boning to this bust area too. So this is the back after joining it together also. So this is what the back looks like, and I'll go ahead now and attach my yoke to the back. So for the front, I'll be draping the yoke on it. So this is the bustier. I've added the foam and I've joined this together. So I'll go ahead and also turn this. So the opening I will have will be at the under bust area. So I will turn this and I'll turn the side also. The only opening will be at the under bust area. So for the center back, so before I turn the center back, I want to insert my yoke into it. So like I said earlier, the yoke for the front will be draped on it, but for the back, I'll be inserting it into it so that it can be neat. So I'll place my yoke inside like this. Then I'll pin it. You know, from the pattern we drafted, the yoke is starting from the lacing bar, that is from the edge. You know, normally some yoke are always like, let's say 3 inches away from the center back, but my own is starting from the center back, just like you're seeing. So I left some opening to turn this. So you go ahead and also notch all this scallop edge so that when you are turning this, it can turn out perfectly. So I left an opening around that area, so I'll be using that part to turn my front bodies. So after turning and ironing, so let me show you what I have. So this is the bustier area. So at the opening at the under bust, I went ahead to just overlock it. You can also tape it. If you don't have the overlocking machine, you can just tape it. So this is what we have. Some people cage this bustier, but I don't want to cage mine. I just added breast pad and it came out perfectly. So I'm aligning the armhole of this together. So I'll use a pin to hold it down. So I'll also align this other side. Like I said, I did not add any boning to this, but if you want to add boning to yours, all good and fine, please add it to yours. So you can add to this side at that bust area, and you can add to the boning channel to the lining, and you can insert your boning to this. So this is the back, and the opening I have at the back area is at this lacing bar. So I will show you where the opening is very soon. So make sure you pin this very well so that you can have accurate results. So this is the front. So this is the back, and the opening I have is towards the M line of the back at the center back. So that's where the opening is, and the opening is there because I'll be inserting my boning through that O. So this is the yoke, so this is the front yoke. So I'll be joining the front yoke to the back yoke very soon, so I'll be showing you very soon. So if you look at the back yoke very well towards that zipper area, so there is no opening, you will see that the net is on fold. So I intentionally left it like that, so it is on fold at that area. So now I'll go ahead and place the back bodies to the front bodies, then I will join it with the remaining sewing allowance I have. You know, I've hemmed this, like I've joined the lining and the fabrics together, so this sewing allowance would have reduced. So the remaining sewing allowance that I have, I will use it to join this together. So after joining and ironing, this is what the blouse is looking like. It is looking really nice. So the next thing we'll do is to create channels here. So we will create 3 lines there, one for the boning, one will be for the eyelet, and another one will be for the boning. So this is my modesty panel, so I'll be attaching a modesty panel to it. As you can see that the modesty panel is not getting to the end of the blouse, is I think 2 inches away from the end of the blouse. So I'll still show you properly very soon. So let me go ahead and insert my boning. So guys, after fixing the modesty panel and the channel and the boning to the lacing bar at the back, this is what I have. So the remaining opening at the M line of the center back, you can just use the needle and thread to secure it using an invisible seam method so that the boning will not come out. So now this is the yoke for the front, so I will join it together with the one at the back at the shoulder area. So I'll just join it together at the shoulder area. So guys, after joining, this is what I have. So I've went ahead to put on the blouse. So I'm putting on the blouse because I want to drape the yoke to the front. So for this back here, I just used a pin to hold it because I've not fixed the buttons there yet. So I was noticing some gaping at this part, but it was because I've not like closed up the the buttons at that area, so that was why there was gaping there. So now, so for the front, I'll just go ahead and just pin the yoke on it. So like I said in my previous video, that if you want this net to blend with your skin, you can just use one, but I don't want it to blend, so I want it to be visible that there's something there. So that's why I doubled it. So when you want to drape the yoke on it, make sure you drag it, but don't over drag it. So make sure you drag it. You start from the center, so you drag it, make sure everything is aligned. So when you notice any folding, you know that it is not correct. So you pin it down. Be gentle with this so that you don't pin your skin. You can do this on the mannequin, but I want to do it on my skin. So you go ahead and just pin down gently. You keep pinning. You make sure you tighten the net so that the net is very fit. Pin as much as possible. So when you are satisfied with what you pin, you move to the other side also. You pin it down. So after pinning down, you go ahead and just cut away the excess. So any excess you have there, make sure you cut it the way. You can do that after you've even removed the blouse, but I'm just trying to do this while I'm still putting on the blouse. So you trim away the excess like this. Then after that, you are ready to sew this down. So for this, when I was pinning, I pin on it at the front, but when I was sewing, I moved the net to the back. So the scallop edge was at the front and the net was at the back. I did that because I don't want to add any applique to cover the rough edge. You know, when you sew on the front, you will need to cover the rough edge that you will have there, and I don't want to do that. So I moved the net to the back since I know, like, since I cut just ½ inch excess on the net. So I just removed the pins, moved the net to the back, then I sew from the back. So the net was at the back, so the rough edge of the net was at the back. And when I was sewing, I make sure that the sewing was not showing outside. So you can either use an invisible thread or you can even use a normal thread, but make sure that the sewing is not showing. So now for the edge, for this scallop edge, so I went ahead to bead. So I just did a simple beading at the edge like this. So this is just to make the scallop edge look beautiful, because if I leave it like that, it will just be plain. So I just wanted something there, so that was why I beaded it. So if you want to do something else at the edge, you can also go ahead and do something else, but I beaded mine. So I have this applique here that I just added to this part here. So I added it just like this. So this is what I have. So in case you don't have this applique, if you still have the beads, you can just go ahead and also bead on the edge also. This is just to make it beautiful. So guys, like I mentioned earlier, you can either use an invisible thread. No, this thread is white. There's a nude color invisible thread, or you can just use the normal thread and make sure that the sewing is not visible outside. Like I mentioned that this net I moved it inward, so I did not sew on it outside, so I moved it inward and the scallop edge was now showing outside. So guys, I beaded at the shoulder area, but I later removed the bead because I was not feeling it at all. So now I'll be attaching this applique to this edge here. So I started by using this B7000 gum, but the gum was not doing the job. So I switched to the hot gum glue. So it was taking time for it to stick. So I have to use hot gum glue. I know hot gum glue is always very fast. So that was what I used to attach this. So guys, after fixing this, I went ahead to fix the button holes at this side. So I just place it like this underneath it, then I went ahead to sew on it. So I wish I saw the nude color of these buttonholes, but I didn't get that, so I'm using white. So there's a nude color for these buttonholes. So guys, if you have the nude color, you can just use the nude color. So what I'll be doing next is to use some of the beads I have to cover up the sewing that I did on top of these buttonholes. So I'll just be beading this. So I'll also be adding bead to the other side. You know, this is the buttonhole, so the buttonholes will be entering, the bead will be entering into the buttonholes. But if you have buttons of the same color of the fabric you are working with, I would advise you use that because the buttonholes were removing from the bead. You know, the bead is not like a button, so it was removing. So if you have button, you can just use it, but this is what it looks like. So I beaded on the other side and also this other side too. So this is what it looks like. So the bead at the shoulder, like I said, I later removed it. So this was the second time I was putting on this outfit after I was done with the beading and also fixing the applique at the bust area and also the buttonholes. So I was lacing this myself. So guys, this is what the final outcome look like. So let me also fix the button at the back. So after fixing it, I could only fix one because I was doing this myself, so I could only fix one. So this is what it looks like. So this part here, I noticed that it was dragging upward, so I'll remove the pin later on for you to see. But I wish, like when I was drafting the pattern, this was what I wanted. But when I look at it now, it looked as if I was dragging the material. So I will I'll remove the pin and release it. So that's what the back looks like. And I could only fix one button myself. So now I'll remove the pin that I have here, and after removing the pin I feel like this looks more relaxed and it does not look bad neither too. It does not look bad to sham, but I wish it was like the previous way because that was how I drafted it. And if you notice that the scallop edge at this bustier area is disappearing, I noticed that the scallop were not that deep. They were not deep enough. So they disappeared when I was sewing and turning it. You know, when you are turning a scallop edge, if you are not careful, everything will not come out. So you have to be very careful about that. So this is what the final outcome look like. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked this video, please like, drop a comment for me in the comment section, share this video with your friends, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.